Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler talks Tyler Shough, Shedeur Sanders, and much more with Rich Eisen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Rat Daddy. All right. So it's been a while, actually, since we've seen Rattler. He's been working in the shadows, I'm sure. So, once minicamp and all that died down, players go their own way. There's really nothing happening, right? So I'm sure Rattler probably headed to Arizona. That's where he usually does most of his individual training. But all I know, he may have locked himself in the facility. Who the hell knows? Hey, before we get going, boom. The mug. The greatest mug of all time. Get you a mug. Get you a shirt. The store is rocking and rolling. Update. If you just got a shirt or 2 shirts or 3 shirts or 4 shirts, they have all been shipped out. The only thing I'm waiting to ship are the mug orders because I greatly underestimated what it takes to ship a mug. So I had to get new boxes. Now we're waiting on tape, and then we should be good to go. All right, but the shirts, they're all out. So if you ordered a shirt, no mug, should be on your way. Okay, let's get to the video.
Is a man in his second year with the New Orleans Saints, the 150th choice in last year's draft, fresh off of his first campaign in the National Football League, and also fresh off of his 3rd annual kids camp in Columbia, South Carolina. We'll talk about it all with Spencer Rattler. Good to see you, Spencer.
What a guy.
How are you?
Good to see you. Thanks for having me. Doing great.
Yeah, where have I found you? Where are you here right before training camp?
We were on a little getaway for the July 4th, just out in Florida, enjoying a few days and ready to get back to the work after this.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, happy July 4th. So this is coming out on the 4th of July. If you're shooting fireworks, be safe. My boy Burley D almost got cut in half by a whirling whale way back in 2000 or something like that. Whirling whale whirled right into his belly button, and he was wailing for hours. So be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Who's the we, if you don't mind me
me and my lady. Me and my lady.
Okay.
Oh,
I
Spencer,
appreciate
you dirty dog.
you taking time out to zoom in here.
Of course.
I really do.
I had to get on this call with you, Rich.
I appreciate that, Spencer, and I'm keen to find out from you your takeaway from your first year in the National Football League. Spencer, what's your takeaway?
Yeah.
What a year it was.
I mean, I thought it was great to be thrown in that fire, sooner than expected. Didn't think I was going to get any starts my first year, especially, being drafted where I was, but, was blessed enough to get that opportunity to get 6 starts and get some games under my belt, get the speed down and, learn a lot from what I went through. I thought, it was a tough year for the organization, for us as a team. We were fighting every game, but, a lot of things didn't go our way, but, none of us quit and we just kept fighting.
So what did you learn? You said you learned a lot. Like what would
I can tell you this. There is nothing that happened last year or that's going to happen this year or that's happening right now or this quarterback competition or whatever that's going to face Spencer Rattler. What Rattler has shown literally every step of the way is that he is as bout it as you can possibly be when it comes to competition, when it comes to being thrown into the fire, when it comes to any of that. He's made for it. He's done it his entire life. And that's one of the things that I've been really impressed with Spencer this whole way is he does have he's almost untouchable when it comes to his mindset.
would you say is what you learned the most, Spencer?
Yeah, I think just the NFL game overall, the preparation, obviously the skill set is at a different level. Each and every week you're playing the best guys in the world. So preparation is key. Just seeing the speed of everything, getting to see all the different defenses, especially being a young rookie quarterback going against, guys like Todd Bowles and many other great coordinators who are going to throw a lot of different stuff at you. So it was great to go back and watch that film and get those reps. And now going into year 2, feel a little better about everything.
What was your welcome to the NFL moment?
Good question.
What was that?
I guess when I stepped on the field playing, Khalil Mack and Derwin James and, those guys on the field, those, great players every week, but, those 2 stood out.
Is that right? Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be crazy. It's got to be crazy for a rookie and I know they always say it. They always say, damn, that guy's in Madden. It's I can't imagine stepping on the field 8 months ago or not even. You're playing college football. and all of a sudden Khalil Mack's over there. All of a sudden you're in the Superdome. All of a sudden it's Thursday Night Football. There's just a lot taking place.
I'll say so.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, you're back there, or you're in a huddle, and you're looking at those are two guys. Those are two guys, to say the least.
That's right. Luckily, I didn't take too many big shots, on the year.
All right.
But those are obviously two of the best in the game, so pretty cool to be on the field with them.
Okay, so if you don't mind me hitting a little bit of a way back machine with you here before getting to the here and now, what was it like for you in a draft where 6 quarterbacks go in the first 12, and you were made to wait to the 5th round? What was going on?
Now, this is where we get a little hypothetical, because this is kind of like the anchor around Spencer Rattler right now, is that he's a 5th round pick, right? And Tyler Shough's a 2nd round pick, right? Spencer was in a unique situation where 6 quarterbacks were taken in the first round. He was number 7. So he could have easily been number 6, right? He could have easily been a first-round pick, given the situation, or given if he didn't go to South Carolina, if he went somewhere else or whatever. But my argument is that the talent level between him and Bo Nix, who was the 6th quarterback taken that year, is not 5 rounds. I'm not saying he's better than Bo Nix, but he's not 5 rounds worse than Bo Nix. Now, what happens a lot of the times is when teams don't need quarterbacks fall, right? So if 6 quarterback-needy teams take a quarterback in the first round, you would assume a lot of other teams in the NFL already have their quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. At some point, quarterbacks will fall. I think that's what happened to Spencer Rattler. The question that we will never have the answer to is, if you flip the quarterbacks, where they go. Would Tyler Shough have been drafted in one of those first 6 quarterbacks in Spencer Rattler's class? Or would Tyler Shough have been pushed and fallen to the 5th round like Spencer Rattler, or the 4th round, or whatever? Conversely, would Spencer Rattler have been taken in the first 3 rounds if he was in this year's draft? I would say yes. I think Spencer Rattler, no doubt about it, would have been drafted higher than Dylan Gabriel. All right? No hate to Dylan Gabriel, but he's Dylan Gabriel. So once a player is drafted, I think a good kind of way to do it is forget about that. Forget about the ADP, average draft position. Forget about the round. Forget about who gets drafted around them. Once they're on the field, you get no bonus points for being a first rounder. You get no bonus points for being a 5th rounder. Now, yeah, the team, obviously, if you get drafted higher, the team has more, you're more pot committed, I guess, to a certain extent. But what really matters is what you can do on that field. All right, so the 5th round Rattler stuff, I don't think it really matters that much.
Going through your skull on that weekend, Spencer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of talented quarterbacks in that class, and I thought I could be up there with those guys, in that first, 2nd round, 3rd round area. But I was blessed to get picked to the Saints. It didn't matter where I went. I put my all into the draft preparation and, the Senior Bowl and all the interviews and combine and all that stuff. So, I was pleasant with me getting picked at the end of the day. It's a blessing to go wherever you get picked. And we hit the ground running and got to play 7 games. So I think it turned out okay.
Well, I mean, I know that, but do you have a chip on your shoulder because of this? Do you think?
I mean, you could say so. Yeah.
I think Spencer has a permanent chip on his shoulder.
Want to go out there and prove yourself every single week. Not just for me. I think that's everybody has some sort of chip on their shoulder. But I think, dropping that far in the draft, it gives you a little chip, and I think that's good for you.
What advice would you give to Shedeur Sanders, who had a long ass wait too, to be straight up? Spencer?
Yeah.
Wow, Rich. Family show, brother.
What advice would you give to him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a talented quarterback, as we all know. He's going to have his own path. Everybody has a different path. Everybody can't go 1st round, 2nd round. Everybody has their own path. So take it step by step, take it day by day. I know he'll be great. I know he's, got a level head and knows what to do. Obviously runs in the family. So I know he's going to work hard and be a great player.
Well,
I got some advice for Shedeur. Get an Uber. Slow down. Let someone else drive.
Listen, I understand, some of the questions that I'm asking you right now, Spencer, could be, if you answered it with a bit more emotion, taken that, you're better than the ones that were drafted in front of you. And I understand you seem to have a level-headed approach about it. Where does that come from, Spencer? Where does that come
I
from?
would say just my parents. They raised me right. Credit to them. They taught me the right valuables to go about in life. Taught me how to be a good young man, and I truly feel that way. And then being able to play at the high school level, at a high level, college at a high level, and then finally get to the NFL and play some games. I think it just comes with being a quarterback. You got to have a level head. You got to be just mature in a way. You got to move a little different as a quarterback, and I think that goes for all quarterbacks.
Spencer also went through a crazy journey, very similar to Tyler Shough. How Tyler Shough talks about his journey, kind of humbling him and him hitting rock bottom and then bouncing up. And if you get through that, you're stronger in life. We're going to take a little side road here. In life, more than likely, unless you are in a very fortunate situation, in life you will get pushed, maybe not rock bottom, but pretty damn close. You will go through horrible situations. In those situations, you will have an option to just kind of let it all unravel. You will have an option to quit. You will have an option to, just kind of push the chips in, say F it, whatever. And it can get a whole lot worse. If you take the other option and you get through those times and you come out on the other side, or you find yourself in a better situation, you pull yourself up and get out of there, a lot of the times that comes with a maturity, and it comes with understanding and a humbling that is invaluable. There's no doubt about it that Spencer's journey has done that for him. He could have easily, when Caleb Williams beat him out at Oklahoma, he could have easily said, F this, I got wronged, I'm not doing nothing. And he could have mailed it in, and he could have started slacking off. He could have, been pissed, had a grudge, let it get to him, and he could have fizzled out. It happens all the time, right? He didn't. Goes to South Carolina, does what he's got to do, drags a not that great team up. They beat Clemson and Tennessee back-to-back, wasn't that what it was? Goes to the NFL, gets taken in the 5th round. He could have said, whatever, I got drafted, but I'm a 5th rounder, who cares? Next thing you know, he started 6.5 games, kind of. Right? So I have been so impressed with Rattler every single time he has talked. Every time. Love the guy. I love him like a brother. I like how he plays. I like his attitude. I like his interviews. I would love, I said this all last year, I would love if he was the franchise quarterback of the Saints for the next 10 years. And he was our guy. And he was a legitimate upper echelon quarterback in the NFL. Because I think he's a great guy. So not surprised at all that he's doing well in this interview.
Is it possible, not to turn this into a psychoanalysis, but is it possible what happened to you in college, where you get hurt and Caleb Williams comes in and you lose your starting gig in Oklahoma? Could that lead into your approach here at all, Spencer?
I never got hurt. I never got hurt in college. I've been very blessed to never been injured in my career.
But you lost your gig, I guess, is one way to put it then. I mean, no?
I mean, what happened at Oklahoma, it's like ancient history at this point.
Right.
At the time we were coming off a Big 12 championship on a 16-game win streak, and we were rolling. I think we led the conference in touchdowns, completion percentage, and whatever happened. But like I said earlier, everybody has their own story. God has a plan for everybody, and that's just how mine went.
Well, I mean,
Spencer didn't like that. He didn't like that one. I mean, that's the most rattled, no pun intended, I've seen Spencer. And I guess I don't blame him. Like, if Rich is going to say, hey, you got hurt, brother, I didn't get hurt, right? Like, do your homework, son.
The guy that you're competing with right now, and Tyler Shough, is pointing out how he's been through a lot already. He's 26, my goodness, as well. But he's had everything pretty much happen to him that doesn't allow.
By the way, a little Big J Journo investigative. Everyone knows Pulitzer Prize winning. Everyone knows the history. What you saw in this interview is a tactic that happens in a lot of interviews where you start off with playful banter or you start off with a very unassuming question to have the subject lower their guard, feel comfortable, right? What's the first thing Rich says? Where are you? Florida. Oh, who'd you come? Oh, your girlfriend. Wow. Okay. Hey, thanks for... Hey, anyways, what about Caleb Williams beating you out of Oklahoma? Hey, anyways, what about Tyler Shough? How you feel about that? And it's only been 6 minutes in this interview, but you can feel how it's turned. So I don't know if any of you will ever interview a man or a woman, but that's a tactic you can use.
Allow him to get phased. I mean, kind of you as well, right? You switch schools. You had a big career in high school. Then you get an opportunity. You get drafted where you got drafted. I feel like maybe you have the same amount of been there, done that. Right, Spencer, in a way?
100%. I've been through a ton of adversity as well, throughout college. And I think that makes you a better player coming into the NFL because, the earlier you see adversity, the better, because you're going to see it in the NFL at any point, especially playing quarterback as a young guy.
Okay, so let's talk about the here and now, Spencer. What is the opportunity here in front of you for this year?
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. New coaching staff, loving what they're doing with Kellen Moore and Doug Nussmeier, Scott Tolzien, 3 guys that played the position in the NFL, know what they want, can coach very specifically to quarterbacks and know their strengths and know what they can do and are just really good play callers and know how to coach the game. I've been enjoying my time with them, obviously with the team. Team's looking great. Guys are healthy. We're having fun. OTAs and vet mini camp was great, and we're all looking forward to training camp.
And so what has Kellen Moore told you about the opportunity that's here in front of you? Is this an open competition for the starter?
Back it up a little bit. For Spencer and Tyler, this is a really, really, really good situation to be in. This is way better of a situation to be in than Cam Ward's in. Like, this is, okay, there's no pressure. First-year head coach, who's a quarterback, who's an offensive guy, with a staff is filled with quarterbacks. You are competing in a true competition. You win that, and you are in the perfect incubator where Kellen's not going to get fired. The organization understands we're rebuilding. We're taking baby steps. Everything's chill. Everything's cool. You're surrounded by maybe not veterans, but guys who are good, right? Chris Olave isn't a veteran, but he's a good wide receiver. Alvin Kamara is a veteran, and he's a great running back. Eric McCoy, one of the best centers in the NFL. Talise Fuaga is not a veteran, but he's a good tackle. We can hope that Kelvin Banks is a good tackle, so you're bookended at tackle. You have protection, right? Rashid Shaheed, again, not a veteran, good wide receiver. Brandon Cooks, a vet and a good wide receiver. Jawan Johnson. You're surrounded by players. And you're surrounded by an offensive line that can protect you. And you're surrounded with an offensive staff that is quarterback-driven and willing to give you time in an organization that's willing to give them time. In a fan base who is coming off of a 5-win year, who understands, well, if we win 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, might as well be the Super Bowl. So as far as a situation to be in, whoever wins this quarterback competition, which is a true quarterback competition, it's amazing how many comments I still get a day that's like, well, James, you're talking about Tyler Shough. What if Spencer Rattler's better? Well, then Spencer Rattler's going to start. James, you're talking about Spencer Rattler. What if Tyler Shough's better? Well, then Tyler Shough's going to start. Whoever wins the competition is going to win, be the starter, and we're going to root for them. Damn. What's going on here? It's July 4th. How are y'all still sleeping? Okay? So whoever wins the true competition is in a perfect situation.
First gig, Spencer?
Yeah. It's an open competition. We've been competing every day. I think competition is great for both of us, not just me and Tyler, but Jake Hayner, We got Hunter Deckers in there as well. So we got 4 good quarterbacks in that room. Got a lot of respect for all of those guys, and we bond really well. That's what I like. It's a tight knit room. We all respect each other's games, and we all push each other every day.
Yeah, I mean, how does that work, right? I mean, there's only one starter's gig, but there's 4 of you in the room, and it's healthy. How does that work, Spencer?
I mean, it's probably not like that in every room, but we're one of the luckier rooms.
Yeah, I also think, like, let's just talk about Tyler and Spencer. These 2 guys are very comfortable in a quarterback competition. They have been doing it literally every step of their journey. So I think because of that, it adds to that healthy competition. Whereas if you have a bunch of quarterbacks who have never been in a competition and they've always just been handed the starting role, things can get toxic quick. All right. But I think Rattler and Shough are comfortable enough in that setting to where it's okay. And even if you go further down the list, Deckers is in a weird situation where he lost football and then was away from the game, then came back at a lower level. So he's probably just thrilled for the opportunity. All right. So that adds more to that positivity, more. And he's working on his own individual thing, trying to get back to the level he was previously at.
I guess you could say. I think just how we go about it. I like to come in there every day and just have a level head, go out there, compete, and try to be the best guy on the field whenever I step on the field.
And Kellen Moore's offense, not to have you spill the playbook out here on the live Rich Eisen show, but how does it suit your game, do you think, Spencer?
I think just like he wants us to play like point guards, distribute the ball, get the ball in your playmakers' hands. You see all the success he's had with, Dak Prescott, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, just a few of the guys to name, but all those guys can move with their legs a little bit. They can throw the ball. I think, that suits my game really well. I think I can move around, make plays with my feet, but definitely my strength is throwing the ball and distributing the ball. So, feel good with what he's calling and feel good about the playbook. Just want to keep diving into it.
Okay. And have you connected with Breeze at all at any point in time, Spencer?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Last year, got to be around him a little bit during practice. And then before, I think it was before the Denver game, got to chop it up with him. And, obviously that's one of the greatest all time. So any little word of advice he has, you want to soak it all in and try to use it in your own game.
Yeah. I mean, he can get you a reservation at any spot there in town.
That's right.
That's for darn sure. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Especially Smalls, his slider shop out in the parking lot of Target.
That's the man of the city right there.
For life. Like he's the concierge.
He could be.
Yep.
Okay. First of all, watch what you're saying, Spencer. Nobody. Come on.
But what other than that might have you picked his brain about, Spencer?
Yeah, I think we talked after the Denver game and just talked about schemes and
that was a bad game. That was a bad night.
Mm-hmm.
What he saw out there versus what I saw. So any little thing he has, he's correct on it. He knows what he's seeing. He's been through it. He's done it. Like I said, he's one of the greatest of all time. So just being able to get to talk to him face to face was pretty special.
Okay. Tell me about your kids camp, Columbia, South Carolina, Spencer. I'm keen to know. What do you have?
Yeah, it was great. It was our third annual kids camp out there. Columbia was so great to me with the fans and all the Gamecock fans and kids and all the loyals out there. So, we like to get back at least once a year and give back to that community and see the kids. And it's fun for them. You go out there, have fun with them. There's about 120 kids out there and they enjoyed it.
Again, Spencer could have went to South Carolina and said, this is BS. I'm not happy about this. This place sucks. Everything sucks. But he, put himself into the community. Still goes back. Doesn't have to do that. He's not from there. He's from Arizona. Plays in New Orleans. But he still has his camp in South Carolina in Columbia. Says a lot about the guy.
So yeah, Pro Sportplex is who we did it with, and they did a great job organizing it and putting it all together. It was a great turnout.
That's pretty cool. So what do you do? Are you out there with the whistle and everything like that? I mean, what are you doing for there, Spencer?
Just bouncing around, talking to everybody. Those kids aren't really, they're so young. They just want to have fun out there. They want to get to see you, take a picture after, get an autograph. So, half the time it's trying to navigate through that and make sure they focus on the details and the coaching. And there was a lot of great coaches out there helping them. So, shout out to them, but they just had fun.
How old are they? How old were the kids?
They ranged from like 5 to 14. Damn. So younger younger kids
Big
for sure.
range.
5 were some going the wrong way. Those 5-year-olds, you got to point them in the right direction.
Some of them had their shoes on the wrong feet, so that's an idea of what we were dealing with. But it was fun.
Is that right? That is funny. Oh man, 3rd annual kids camp for you, and 2nd season coming up.
And you know, if you have a lot going on in your life, you know how sometimes you're just like, man, I can't do that. Like, I can't do whatever. I can't do this. I'm in the middle of a quarterback competition. Like, this is all hell's breaking loose. I'm learning to do offense, whatever. To still do the camp, like I said, says a whole lot about this guy.
So, what's your goal? Give me your goals. Are you a goal-oriented guy where you write it down, you visualize, like, because you have an opportunity here, right? I mean, obviously you got a competition. And you got a guy who was drafted
Goal
in the
1,
2nd round.
win the competition.
Now in your quarterback room. What are your goals, Spencer?
Yeah, very goal oriented. You know, just want to go out there and give my best every day. Might sound like a bland answer, but
no.
Just want to go out there, focus on what I can, make my teammates around me better. You know, gain my teammates' trust and my coach's trust, and you know, I'm very confident in what I can do on that field. So, you know, felt good throughout OTAs, minicamp. Just want to keep progressing and take that into minicamp and preseason, and then into the season.
Yeah.
He didn't say it, and, you know, it's fine. I don't think it would have been bad if he would have came out and said, my goal is to win the competition. I want to be the starting quarterback of the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, it's okay. Take the PR answer and just, you know, like he did. But I don't think it would have been that bad if he would have said that. And if I was advising him, I probably would have said, yeah, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say go ahead and let it be known that you want to be the franchise quarterback of this team.
And of all the teams coming in, the Arizona Cardinals from your home state, right? Arizona
Kicking
and
it off.
another Lincoln Riley, high recruited guy, and Kyler Murray out there. So maybe, you know, you get that start, and it'll be something for you to get started on in year 2, Spencer, right?
Yes, sir. That would be great.
Hey, listen, go forth and enjoy your final couple weeks of freedom, you know, to do whatever you want to do. And I appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting with me, and I wish you the best of luck with your opportunity.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rich.
Anytime, Spencer Rattler. Please don't lose our number. We won't lose yours. That's Spencer Rattler here on the Rich Eisen Show of the New Orleans Saints.
Love him. I love the guy. I'm telling you. I just got to get wrapped up in my courts. Yeah, I love him. I hope Spencer Rattler, if he's the guy, I hope he's the greatest quarterback in Saints history. I mean, like, he's just a likable guy. He's got a great story. I like the way he plays. He's a gunslinger. Plays a lot like Baker Mayfield. We'll see. We'll see. But there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your 4th of July, okay? Enjoy your 4th of July. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll see you in the next video.